Hello, we're back again now. This is Al here, the Doowopper, and I'm gonna be talking to you Doowoppers. You know what we're gonna do tonight? We're gonna have a little quiz. It's okay. I'm gonna talk about a guy that I hope you can remember this guy. This guy we call the Golden Guy. He called the Golden Voice. This guy was sensational. And so I'm going to kind of hint to you what he done. This guy here he sung gospel. He lived in Georgia, and he moved to New Jersey, and he was a fighter. He even tried back. It's called back in the day. See, I took boxing because blacks, the only way we could really make money, we had to go out and get beat up. We were boxing. So I done a little boxing, and he done boxing and whatnot. And so he kind of like changed his mind and said, no, I had to find a better way of making a living. And I agree with him because I tried that boxing. It just don't work too well when you get a fist in your face all day long. So I can understand that one quite well. But this guy here, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll go better and I'm going to give you one of his songs and see what you can remember his name. You remember the song we say, when you walk through a storm, hold your head up high. I know you remember now. Yeah, I know you remember him now. That's Mr. Roy Hamilton. You got to remember, I'll tell you, this guy was a golden voice. He was back in the day, and he was great. Okay, with these songs that he used to sing. But, unfortunately, he had a short life. He had a short life. He died early. In fact, he was born back in 1929, and he died in 1969. He had a very short and his song, and really, he was a guy that everybody loved. He came right there from the white, the black. Everybody loved his songs because he sung with so much heart and everything. And so, but I'm gonna go back a little bit with him. When he first started out, he started out and at the Apollo. And believe me or not, with his great golden voice, he failed. He actually failed. And when he came out, he said, "Well, they didn't like me because they're more into blues, and I'm not into blues, and so I guess that's the reason they didn't accept me." So he went back to singing gospel and doing whatever he could possibly do. But, one day they had a talent show, and that talent show was in Newark, New Jersey. And believe me or not, the place where he was discovered was Caravan, 8 Bedford Street in Newark, New Jersey. And this man went in and they had radio, and when he sang, they didn't have the TV and all this stuff at the time, and all was on the radio. And he sung the song, "You'll Never Walk Alone." And when he sung that song, right then and there, his success just jumped sky high. Pew! Mr. Roy Hamilton was one of the best singers at that time than almost anybody. But I got to tell you a story about him. And what happened one time, he was in it wasn't tele show, but it was a show. Can't quite remember it right now, the name of it, but Victor Simone was there. Victor Simone also sung that song, "You Never Walk Alone." And so, but he was on the billboard, and Sarah Vaughan was on the billboard on that show. And so Victor was white, and Victor also sung that song, like I just said, "You Never Walk Alone." So Roy didn't know hardly any songs, but "You'll Never Walk Alone." So he thought he was going to be the one to sing it. But Vic Simone being white, he wanted the closing number at that show singing that song. So here, Roy didn't, what am I going to do now? Okay, because that's what I was intending to sing. So what happened is that he decided, I was saying, well, I'm going to pick another song, but I'm not familiar with this song that much, but I'm going to do it. He sung Ebb Tide. When he sung Ebb Tide, he got ovation, standing on their feet. They wanted more. He went into the dressing room, and they went and got him and brought him back out and told him, said, "We got to have you. We got to quiet the audience down because we got to come out and give him more." So he came out and he took bows with Victor Simone. He was white, came out, and he stood beside him and took bows. Sarah Vaughan come out beside him and took bows. This man shook up the whole show. He took it to the next level. But unfortunately, it wasn't long before he died. After age of I think it was 30, 38. If you don't quote me on it, it was, yeah, but he was young and he died. And so, and we understand he had a stroke. And so, and when he had the stroke, he was coming around pretty good. And, but anyway, he had reoccurrence with the stroke and he ended up passing. But that was, Roy Hamilton was, he was a rock into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, which he was. He got that Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because he was great. And so that was just to give you some good one of our great historic rock and roll at the time has made a big mark in that industry. And right now, we set up and we listen at Roy Hamilton right now, and I enjoy all the songs that he sang. "You'll Never Walk Alone," "Time Marches On." Those are just a few. "Ebb Tide." Ebb Tide went to number one right after he sung at this show. Bow. Hey, it just went to number one. Almost every song he sang went on the Billboard. It was nothing. He didn't have not one flaw at all in his music. So we loved him and we still will never forget him. And he would, right now, I just can't believe sometimes when I listen to him, I just can't, sometimes hard to believe when I came up with him back in the 50s, listening to him. And right now, I go on and my records and everything, and I go back and I just listen to him and I just relax and just listen to that great baritone voice he got is just out of sight, and it's just unbelievable. Well, that's all we got there on Mr. Roy Hamilton, but he's gonna always be missed as long as they're gonna be playing his records.